What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we have Tennessee State's round number 6, and on the left we have Zach Krekeler playing the Greninja break deck, which you really haven't seen yet. We've seen Trevenant, we've seen Yveltal, we've seen Night March, we've seen Restroom Giratina, but we haven't seen a Greninja deck yet, and this is what Zach is playing. He's playing a 4-4, 2-2, Greninja break line, a 1-1 Octillery. He's not going for the 2-2, just a 1-1. Playing Brigetti, Spaghetti, Bridget. For some reason, like as you just saw, I try to click a Bridget and Floatstone comes up. Me trying to click cards right now, it's not working. They just updated PTCGO. But if you notice, he's only played one Wally, two Fisherman. It looks like he's going for the more evolution line, because he plays two Rare Candy as well to get his Greninjas out. So it's not really based on Frogadier, which, I mean, Frogadier, if I could pop it up, water duplicates lets you search for 3 Frogadiers and put them onto your bench. He can still do that, but it looks like he's focused more on consistency, getting these Greninjas out by turn 2. But hopefully you enjoy his deck. Also, I didn't get a hold of Mac and get his deck list. I apologize for that. So all we have is Zach's list, and we'll see what Mac is playing. I'm not sure what they're playing or what Mac's playing. I don't look at the videos ahead of time. We just go as it goes and see what happens. But we'll see what happens in the game and what is Zach playing against. Not sure. But hopefully you enjoy his deck introduction, and let's see the game right now. Alright guys, so after recording the video, we did get Mac's list, so I know it's going to kind of look weird. We can go from Zach saying, I don't know Mac's list, to the list, and then saying, I don't know what Mac's list is in the video. But here's Mac's list. We do find out it is a straight Yveltal deck. Yveltal, Zoroark, Darkrai. Looks like he's going for the Max Elixir version. Once again, I can't click the cards. I don't know why. What's going on? Hey, well, there we go. Alright. I clicked VS Secret and Yveltal pops up, but I used Max Elixir to power up Darkrai Yveltals. He does play one Absol with the Cursed Eyes. There we go. If you click the switch, Absol popped up. So there we go. You can move 3 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to their Pokemon. It's just a really consistent Yveltal deck. He didn't play no Shamans, but he did end on positive during the tournament, so that is something to look into. Play 4 puzzle time to reuse Max Elixirs, maybe supporter cards. But hopefully you enjoy this list. Thanks for watching it, and let's see the game right now. Alright guys, here it is. Tennessee State's round number 6. Like I said, on left, we have Zach Krekeler. On the right, we have Mac. We know Zach is playing the Greninja deck, but we're not really sure what Mac is playing right now, unless that changes and he gives me his list before I post this video. But as of right now, we don't know his list, so we'll see what happens. And what is Zach playing against? I mean, we've pretty much seen everything so far now since we have Greninja. I mean, we haven't seen Garchomp. We haven't seen, I'm trying to think what else. We haven't seen a Rayquaza deck. Maybe Max playing Rayquaza. That could be something to see. A Raichu Bat deck. And let's think. Maybe a Groudon deck? Probably not. Groudon's not really that competitive in standard as of this moment. Wobbuffet backs could be interesting. Okay, and here we go. Handshake, and there's an Yveltal EX from Max. So it is some kind of dark deck. Okay, so on Zach's turn, we see a Battle Compressor. Gonna discard 3 cards out of his deck, and let's see what he decides to discard. Looks like he's eyeballing the Wally, Lysander, and maybe a Brigetti Spaghetti. I think maybe that's what that card is. Yeah, that's a VS Secret for Brigetti. Wow, so turn 1 Bridget. I know I say Brigetti, but it's Bridget. I know, guys, don't worry. We see a Rimraid, Froakie, and a Froakie. And we know that Zach does play 2 Rare Candies, so he could Rare Candy double Greninja next turn. And on a Max turn, let's see, there's a Trainer's Mail. Like I said, we're not sure what he's playing, but we'll find out during this game. It can't be that crazy. Looks like he's going to Trainer's Mail for nothing. I don't see any Hypnos in his deck while he's shuffling. Okay, and let's see what he has. A Dark Energy to the active, okay. And let's see. And I see a Birch in his hand, but there's Sycamore discarding Puzzle Time, Max Elixir, something else. So it looks like he's going for a speed Yveltal deck. There's another Yveltal EX coming down. We see a Trainer's Mail. Look at top 4 cards of his deck. Going to grab the Battle Compressor. Maybe get out a Shaman. Discarding a Dark and a Zoroark. Alrighty. And let's see what he decides to go for. There's a Yveltal, just a baby Yveltal with the Oblivion and the, oh man, what's the second attack called? Dark Display. There we go. I remembered. Don't you worry. Alright, let's see what Mac has. We might just see a pass from Mac. Yep, pass on to Zach's turn. We see a Frogadier coming down, a Muscle Band, Water Energy, Professor Birch. Alright, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit, and let's see, does he get it or not? That's the big question. Let's see, what does he get? And it's, I can't tell. Looks like a tails, or heads. Oh, it's a heads. Alright, so getting 7 cards from there. Trainer's Mail, gonna get top. Okay, not get anything off that, just kidding. We see a dive ball. This could get an Octillery. Let's see. Yep, gonna get the Octillery. Now, he can water duplicates. Oh, there's another Frogadier coming down. But the only thing, he can only get up to 2 Frogadier, maybe, if there's 2 in the deck. And let's see, water duplicates. There's 1, and there's 2. Alright, so he gets, wow. So all 4 Greninjas out with the Froakie. Looks pretty funny right now. A Dark Energy to the active. Flowstone on the Yveltal. We see a Battle Compressor. No, VS Secret for Sycamore. Discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Now, he will Evil Ball. This will knock out the Froakie. He will do, or the Frogadier, sorry. 20, 40, 60, 80. Is that another Yveltal? It looks like another Yveltal EX. Max looks to look at top 6 cards of his deck. He can't grab a DCE. It's only basic, okay? So, he's not going to grab the DCE. And let's see, what else does Mac have? Okay. Let's see. What does he have? And okay, so he does play Zoroark. There's a Zoroark coming down. And we'll see a knockout on the Frogadier. And on Zach's turn, let's see. Does he have multiple Greninjas? Does he have a rare candy Greninja? That could be great as well. There's a Battle Compressor, and the Dedenne is in his deck as well, which is great. It could punish this Yveltal player if he gets too many energies on his Yveltal. If we see a VS Seeker just for a Sycamore, he must have a VS Seeker in his hand. Go to grab the Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Water Energy to the active. And VS Seeker for the Sycamore. Okay, for a Birch. Alright, so once again, we're going to risk it to see if we get the biscuit. I'm not sure if he Abyssal Hand already. I wasn't playing that too close to attention, I'm not going to lie. And what was it? Looks like a Tails? Nope. Okay, looks like it was Tails, yep. So we're going to see Dive Ball. This is going to get a Greninja. There it is, alright. So Greninja could do 100 damage to this Yveltal EX. Greninja, because she a Water Shuriken for 30. There's a Silent Lab come down. Alrighty, so that's going to stop Mac's basic abilities. There we see a energy retrieval. Get back 1 energy. And let's see what he decides to do. Water Shuriken, 30 to Zora. And we'll see a attack. I forget what it's called, but it's 100 damage total. Should do 80, and then with a Muscle Band, it could do 60. Return to Water, 80. With the Muscle Band, 100 damage. Alright, on to Mac's turn. Let's see what he decides to do. He could, let's see, Evil Ball. It's only going to do 24 to 60. Only 60 damage because there's no energy onto the active. Mac's going to make sure he knows what that card does 100%. Alrighty, so let's go put it back down, and let's see what Mac decides to do. I mean, he's not in a great spot. Like, Zach can easily knock out this EX Pokemon while Mac's going to struggle because, you know, Greninja has so much HP, and he doesn't need to really put down energies. So we see a Zoroark coming down. We might see a Mind Jack. It'll do 3, 6, 9, 12, 130 damage, which will knock out this Greninja. I think it has 130. Don't get me. We'll see if he stands in it. He's not gonna knock out this turn. We see a Fighting Fury Ball going to the Yveltal on the bench. We see an Ultra Ball discarding an Ultra Ball and a Puzzle of Time. That's a second Puzzle of Time gone. Okay. We see another Zoroark coming down. So maybe it's just a straight Yveltal Zoroark deck, no Glade. We see a stand-in, and looks like we're going to see a Mind Jack. Looks like it's going to knock it out. Yeah, it's going to do 133, 6, 9, 12, and then plus its hand, 130. And on Zach's turn, we see a Greninja Break come down, so he can use Giant Water Shuriken and Water Shuriken for a total of 90 damage on the field, which is crazy. And let's see what he decides to do. He could hit the active for 60, take a knockout on the Zoroark. And it looks like he's going to hit 60 on the Zora. And yeah, he's going to do the 61. We'll see a Water to the active. We'll see Abyssal Hand draw in 2. We see another Greninja come down. A Muscle Band to the active. And, I mean, he can take a knockout on the Zoroark. And I'm not sure what Mac can really do to knock out this Greninja Break. And there's a judge putting both players at 4 cards. Now let's see. Mac has a double Dark Energy on that Yveltal. He needs to do 160, 170. I can't remember the HP exactly of Greninja Break. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's not a lot, but there we see a Miss Slash knocking it out. And on a Max turn, I mean, Zach knocked out both, like, threats that turn. He knocked out a Zora and a Zoroark, which is pretty crazy. And let's see what Max has. He's going to promote that Yveltal with the Flowstone. We might see a Blivwing to weaken this Greninja up some. Wait, what's that EX Pokemon on the far right? Is that a Darkrai? It looks like a Darkrai. I mean, the glare is pretty bad. I didn't see when he put it down, but it might just be a Darkrai. And it looks like, oh man, it looks like a Darkrai. We see a Lyson. They're going to bring up the Octillery, retreat into the Yveltal, and we're going to see a White Cyclone knocking out the Octillery. And on to Zach's turn. Let's see what happens. We're going to see a Silent coming down, getting rid of that Reverse Valley. So no more 10 more extra damage from Mac. Okay. We see a Dedenne, Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright, so Zach has revealed he does play Dedenne in his deck. We're going to see a Trainer's Mail, look at the top 4 cards. And does he have anything or not? Looks like he's going to get a Dive Ball. Could get out another Greninja if he wants to. Or another Frogadier. No, he can't get another Frogadier because they're all gone already. We see 90 damage total going down to the what is it? The Yveltal, maybe? We see a Sacred Ash. Okay, I wish the dice were a little bit clearer. I apologize for that. We'll see so we see a Sacred Ash, Shuffle in, get the Frogadier. Alright, so there we go. And we'll see a Misslash, knocking out the Yveltal EX, and Zach will go down to 2 prize cards. And that Yveltal on the bench has a bunch of damage on it, and it's pretty much going to get knocked out next turn if Matt cannot knock out this Greninja only active. I think that it looks like it has 110, maybe on the bench, maybe just 90. We'll see what happens. Now remember that Greninja Break only works while in the active spot. So I mean the max you could do next turn is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So, oh yeah, that's 90 on that Yveltal. Okay. But it has 210 HP. So we see a Max looks to put a Dark Energy on it. We see a Trainer's Mail, the top 4 cards of his deck. Gonna grab a Judge, okay. And maybe Matt can judge Zach down to like 4 bad cards and not have any energies. But that Dedenne is also scary. Like, man, that Dedenne is just looking at him. But they see double puzzle time, getting him back at DCE. And he needs a way to knock out this Dedenne. Like, I don't know. Max in such a bad spot right now. Because Zach has that Dedenne just staring at him. He has like this giant, the giant Greninja. Was he a DC going out to Yveltal? We're going to see a Max looks to look at top 6 cards of his deck. Going to put another Dark Energy. Alright. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's doing 150 right now. Oh no, 100. No, oh man, 170 exactly. But there we see a Dedenne via Seeker. Does Zach have a Fishman? He does have a Fishman, and we'll see a knockout with the Dedenne. All right, so we see Zach take gainer 1. Dedenne does 20 damage times the amount of energy on the active Pokemon, and there was a billion, and it had 90 damage already on it. So, like I said, that Dedenne was scary, but Mac was just in a weird spot. I mean, like I said, I don't think this is a good matchup for Mac because, Greninja needs like 1 energy to attack, and then you can pick up the energy and make it where, Mac needs a bunch of energies to knock out this Greninja, which is not good. And I mean, Zach has such a great turn 1. He got the turn with Brigetti, had a Frogadier, got down another Frogadier, used water duplicates, get down 2 Frogadiers, and he was really set that game. Like, oh man, you can't complain if you're on Zach's side. But hopefully, Mac's probably wishing, hey, Zach, calm down. Don't get that many Pokemon down. And we see Zach starts with an Yveltal. And we see Mac and then Zach mulligans. There we go. It's confusing to say both players' names. But here we go. Setting up Zach shuffling one more time to see what can he get. Can he get a basic Pokemon or not? That's the big question. I imagine he can. I believe in you, buddy. All right. We're going to see, okay, we're going to see a setup. And there we go, getting down 2 Pokemon. So went from none to 2. Okay. On a Max turn, he gets a Dark Energy, Ultra Ball, discarding a Dark, and another Dark Energy. Okay, and let's see what he decides to get. Maybe a Shebe, maybe an Yveltal EX, maybe he's got some Max Elixirs. I can't see what that card is, but I'm going to assume it's a Zora. And we'll see a pass on to Zach's turn. And Zach has the wall. Oh my goodness, that a Wally in his hand. And he does hit the turn. He plays 1 Wally, and he started with it. What is going on right now? But we see Zach getting the Greninja out. He does have a Water Energy in his hand, a Splash Energy to make it even better. And he plays 1 of those as well. And we see Water Duplicates. So 1 Frogadier is prized. So something might be going Mac's way. But we see Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. If Mac can find DC, he can take a knockout. And that is a Darkrai, yeah. So he is playing the Darkrai EX with the Dark Head and the, what's the other attack called? I'm not sure. But there we see a stand-in. We're going to see a knockout, and that Frogadier returns back into Zach's hand. Alright, so let's see what happens. Now, Zach does have the Froakie in his hand, so he can put that card down for sure. We see a Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Can he find a Greninja or not to start doing some damage? There's Greninja, Water, Muscle Band, Silent Lab, oh my goodness. So he's going to do 100 damage to knock out this Zoroark while also getting another Greninja out. And will we see a Water Shuriken? Nope, just going to take a knockout. And now it's 5-5 own prize cards. Alright, on a Max turn. He's listening to that Darkrai. Going to attach a DCE. Max looks to look at top 6 cards of his deck. Going to grab nothing. I wonder why he didn't promote the Yveltal with the energy. He could at least Oblivion. Maybe he plays something tricky in his deck. Let's see. What else does Mac have? Let's see. We'll see his Zoroark discarding that Muscle Band. And we'll see. Oh, Dark Pulse for 40. There we go. So, Water Shuriken for, what is it? 30? Okay. We'll see a Sycamore discard his hand. Greninja Break coming down. Alright. So, things are about to get interesting. Dive Ball, getting the Octillery to start using Abyssal Hand. Zach only plays a 1-1 Octillery line, and that's not prized either. Zach just has everything he needs. A Trainer's Mail. He does have a Dive Ball. I don't think, maybe that wasn't a Dive Ball. Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe that wasn't a Dive Ball. Alright, but let's see, what does he decide to do? There's a Giant Water Shuriken for 60, bringing it up to 90 total. Alright, and let's see, will we see a knockout this turn? And nope. Alright, so there we go. I'm not sure how much is on it. Like I said, it's not the greatest. I can't see. I should have brought some good dice to use instead of those clear ones. But it looks like it's at 140 maybe. But we see a Sycamore from Mac. Going to get an Yveltal down. Use a Max Looks to look at top 6 cards of his deck. Going to whiff only energy again. Wow, these Max Looks are not helping Zach at all. I mean, Mac at all. Mac, Zach, my goodness. Alright, so we see a Trainer's Ball. Going to grab a Fighting Fear Belt. He could bet on the Darkrai, but he's going to go on the Yveltal EX. And we'll see another Dark Pulse, maybe. Puzzle Time, rearrange top 3 cards of his deck. And let's see, okay. Going to rearrange it that way. We'll see a Flowstone retreat into the Yveltal, and we'll see a Blue Wing do a 30 to that Greninja, bring it up to 70. Alright, on to Zach's turn. Let's see what happens. We see a Battle Compressor. Going to discard 3 cards out of his deck. Looks like he's eyeballing a Fisherman. Okay. Fisherman, water, and water. And what he could do is VS Seeker for the Fisherman and get back his energies, which it will be fantastic. So, yep, VS Seeker for Fisherman. Going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 energies back into his hand. And let's see what Zach decides to do. Giant Water Shuriken, knocking out that Darkrai EX, going down to 3 prize cards. Okay. The pressure is on now. Alright, and let's see. Zach has a Water Shuriken as well. So Water Shuriken 30 to the Yveltal with the Fighting Fear Belt. And we'll see a Water Energy going down to Greninja. And we'll just see a Retreat. And a Mist Slash doing, what, 50, I think? I think it's what it is. Maybe 30. I can't, like, once again, the dice are clear. They're translucent. I think, what, translucent? That's the correct word. But, I mean, Mac is in a weird, like, in a bad spot. Like, Zach has a Greninja Break hitting for 90. Which is not good. Is not good at all. Okay. Well, let's see. We see a absolute movement 30 to that Greninja. Oh, cool. Things might get fancy. We see a VS Seeker. Or Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Can Mac take a knockout this turn or not? And we'll see. Hold on. Wait for it. Trainer's Mail. Look at top 4 cards of his deck. Let's see what he decides to get. Maybe. Let's see. Does he get a Floatstone? Does he get some more energies on that Yveltal EX to actually get a knockout this turn? Let's see. Okay, gonna grab a VS Seeker for the next turn. Maybe he doesn't have a supporter card, so that's why he's grabbing the VS Seeker. Okay. And what else is going to happen? We might see Blue Wing for 30. Let's see. What is Matt going to do? Now, let's see. If he has a DCE, he'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 110, but looks like he can't even retreat this Yveltal. And we'll see Bloom for 30. And man, Mac once again has so many energies on that Yveltal EX. If Zach finds his Dedenne, he can easily knock out this Yveltal and take his last 2 prize cards. So we see a Sacred Ash shuffle a bunch of Pokemon back into the deck. We'll see a giant Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken to the active. Okay. Let's see what else does Zach have. We're gonna see. Oh, Birch, he's risking it. Did he get the biscuit? I didn't even pay attention. I was just paying attention, and oh, nope, only 4 cards. But there's a Dive Ball. Probably getting another Frogadier. Yeah. Oh, a Greninja. Does he have a break? Does he have a Rare Candy in his hand? Show me Rare Candy. There it is. Rare Candy Greninja. Abyssal Hand. Drawing 3. Alrighty, a Battle Compressor. Go and discard 3 cards out of his deck, and let's see what he decides to discard. Go and discard Silent Lab and something. No, a License or something else. I'm not sure what that is. And we'll see a Mist Slash, knock out the Yveltal. And on a Mac's turn, all Zach needs to take is 2 prize cards, and he wins this game. And let's see what Mac can do. He can knock out this Greninja. But I mean, I would be scared if I was Zach. I mean, if I was Mac, because that Yveltal has so many energies on it. Like I said, Dedede could come out and smack him again for the knockouts. And let's see what Mac do. There's an Yveltal coming down. We might see a Y Cyclone. There's a DC going to the bench. And let's see, does he play Pokemon Similarity? Does he play anything to heal this Yveltal? That's the big question. Because if he doesn't, this Greninja is going to do a lot of damage next turn. Alrighty, let's see, what does Mac decide to do here? He is in a bad spot, but he will take a knockout. There's a VS Seeker for a Lysander, bringing up the Greninja break. And we'll see an Even Ball doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 130. And, yep, that's a knockout on the break. Okay, I'm pretty sure they did the math right, or they wouldn't have done that. And on to Zach's turn, let's see what happens. Mac does leave himself in a spot where Dedede could come into play. Let's see, does that happen or not? Zach gets a Dive Ball, not really that helpful. Like, the only bad thing about Zach's deck is he can't Ultra Ball for Dedede. Like, he has to manually draw into it, because he only plays Dive Balls and no Ultra Balls. Okay. And let's see what Zach decides to do. He's going to count everything up. What's the best play this turn? We're going to see a Greninja break come down. Okay. So he's going to Water Shuriken, probably Giant Water Shuriken. Okay. And can he win the game this turn? I am not sure how much damage is on there, but there's a VS Seeker for a Sycamore. Going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. There's the Dedede. And does he have a Water Energy? Dedede, Energy Retrieval, gets the Water Energy, and that is going to be a knockout on that Yveltal, especially with the Muscle Band. Going to retreat into the Yveltal, and there you go. He's got the energy as well to even more Water Shuriken damage. I guess he needed the Water Shuriken, I'm not sure. But there we go, we see Zach 2-0 the Yveltal, Speed Yveltal deck with Darkrai. But there we go, we're finally seeing a little taste of Greninja. We really haven't seen it at all during this tournament, but I'm glad we finally got to see Greninja play a game. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Alrighty.